olden days, a glimpse of stuffing was looked upon as something shocking, but now, God knows, anything goes. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the world, and all the ships at sea, as Walter Winchell used to say. My name is Dr. Jeffrey Lant. I'm speaking to you from the capital city of the Internet, Cambridge, Massachusetts, where it's all happening, all around me. I happen to be here in the Worldprofit's American office, right across the street from Harvard Law School, 3 blocks away from Harvard Yard. And I was absolutely horrified this morning when I read in the papers that there already commencements are taking place. I thought, oh, couldn't possibly be the end of the academic year for 2014. Couldn't possibly be what? And I looked at the calendar. Are they graduating early? Folks, I put it to you. Half the year is almost gone by. Are you happy? I was very, and I'm here with Lucy Dubois, Lucy Woods from British Columbia. I was horrified, Lucy, absolutely aghast that we are now already, the class of 2014 is already being liberated at colleges. We have 71 colleges and universities within easy driving distance and easy walking distance, many of them, right here in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Over 71 colleges and universities in the neighborhood. So commencements are a big deal for us. Lucy, did you think it was so late? Could you have believed that it was so late in May that half the year is just about gone?
Goes too fast, Dr. Lant. Way too fast. That's why time is money and time is precious.
Absolutely. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a whole bunch of things today. First of all, my name is Dr. Jeffrey Lant. I've been the CEO and co-founder of Worldprofit at www.world, W-O-R-L-D-P-R-O-F-I-T, worldprofit.com for over 20 years. This is the longest running live webcast anywhere in the world. We cover the waterfront. Well, we do have one rule, but only one rule, and that is that whatever anyone says within anything goes, within the confines of our screen here is okay. We let it go, so long as it's not big crimes or something like that. In other words, we let people have their say, but here's the kicker, we respond in time. So if anybody here doesn't want to have their comments responded to, best that you go away, because this program can become extremely rambunctious as we cover the waterfront and making money, growing home businesses and businesses of other kinds, politics, we always use politics, so that always the economy, always money, always marketing, and always extol the virtues of rock. My partner, George Kosh, is the leading inventor of the future of the Internet. And the man has invented so many, what we call them gizmos. Particularly those of us who are technically challenged, we rely on those gizmos as you being made. Lucy, what do you think about that, about George Kosh and all the things that he invents for us? Every day there's something new that he's working on to releases for us. That's not normal, Lucy. It's not normal behavior.
George Kosh is a genius. You, Dr. Lant, you're a top marketer and writer. George Kosh is a top inventor. Every tool, strategies, processes, programs, systems that he can better to help the Worldprofit affiliates and members, he will do it.
By the way, for those of you who are wondering if I've suddenly shrunk to the size of Miss Potato Head, I wanted you to see a little corner of my there, what I call the space capsule. And some of you have read my articles on working in here. This office was completely gutted down to the bricks and it was redone. Everything in this room is custom sized to fit. And like many rooms in New England, where I'm speaking to you from, it's quirky. And the reason that we have quirky rooms in New England is because of the heat situation. It may not have dawned on you folks that, whatever you're reading about the pilgrims and their turkeys, but what they really wanted was heat. And there was no heat in New England. There's no coal here. There's no oil here. There's no, the forests are scraggly and soon exhausted. And so people got cold, and they built small rooms, and they built them in ways so that they retained the heat. I'm speaking to, I used to say this en passant, but I'm speaking to you about 4 blocks from the first burial ground in North America. And I was doing some research about it, and no one knows the exact parameters anymore. There was a palisade to protect the pilgrims. And when people died in the early days of the master's colony, they simply took the bodies to the parapet and threw them down into the cemetery where the beasts could have their way with them. I'm not making this up. And I thought for a long time why they would do it that way. It seemed rather odd for Puritans. But the truth of the matter is they were so tired. I think the Puritans and we have a lot in common. I was reading an article the other day about the fact that we were so sleep deprived. But today's business people don't sleep enough. Well, I plead guilty. Never had the chance to sleep. I'm taking it. I don't care if I'm in the middle of a dinner party. Lucy, I think the only people before us who were perpetually tired were the Puritans. Because think about this. Instead of going to the refrigerator when you wanted to drink, you had to go down to the river, take your bucket. It was enough. Did you ever think about that? Did you ever wonder at the arduous lifestyle that these people had? And they died early. They died very early, mostly of malnutrition and, of course, the diseases that accompany that. They just didn't have the strength to bury people. I think they were so pragmatic. They said, if the person's dead, well, they can't help it. And I'll tell you a story about that occurred to me. When I started thinking about these things, they turn into articles. Vladimir Lenin, the man who took over Russia after the 1918 revolution, was involved with a woman called Krupskaya. And Krupskaya's mother lived with them in London. And Krupskaya told Lenin, who was notoriously cold-blooded. Lenin was a very, very cold-blooded man. He said, well, if there's anything, Krupskaya would go to bed, and she told him, if there's anything changing my mother's condition, and she needs me, let me know. So in the morning, she wakes up and her mother is dead. And Lenin, she chastises Lenin and says, what was the deal here? She said, well, your mother's dead. She didn't need you. Well, there, folks, we have it. A little bit of history on the run. Lucy, we are here, and we are buried in orders for people who want to establish home-based businesses. And so we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty here. We're going to have you read them in an offer after we tell them a little bit more about Worldprofit. And we're going to tell them about video marketing. And I've got a Mother's Day article to read you, so we're very busy today. Let's start by informing the people a couple of things about Worldprofit that you might not know. We have been around on the internet now for over just about 21 years, coming up in August, one way and another. And we are older than eBay, we're older than a lot of these other companies that we're certainly older than Google. We've been here for all these years helping people make money at home on the internet, and it works. Lucy, how did you hear about us, and when did you hear about us? And tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so it's 6 months ago. About 6 months ago, my sponsor at Worldprofit introduced me to Worldprofit. But he said to me, I've been building my business online. He made, honestly, with your tools and his knowledge, he made tremendous money in a short period of time. Within 5 months, he was already making more than a couple of $1,000s a month. So I said, okay, if you can do it, I can do it. So he introduced me to Worldprofit. And then I went on the silver package for at least a month or two, and then I upgraded to platinum right away.
Okay. Now today's program I'm going to dedicate to Bernard Qua and the Reverend Dean, who just disappeared. We want to get through to real people and make them understand there is an opportunity cost in waiting. The opportunity cost goes like this. I can begin to see the threads of what I'm talking to you about. Previously, it was speculative. There are 4 great nations on this planet who are not yet really integrated into the internet, not to mention a whole host of small. There are 4 truly great and substantial powers in the world who have minimal access to the internet and will soon have full, complete access. Can you guess what they are, Mr. Dubois? What's one? 4 great nations are not fully integrated in the internet.
They're not fully integrated?
We don't rehearse this in advance, friends. We just go with it, and that's why this is 4. That's right. There are 4 nations of the earth that, unlike Canada, unlike Western Europe, are not fully integrated into the internet system. What are they?
How about maybe South Africa?
How about not South Africa? How about Russia? How about another one? This is rich. What did you do today, Dr. Lam? I taught Lucy Dubois geography. How about China? How about anyone want a couple of smart
That's
pills?
why it doesn't come up.
India, Brazil. Those foreign nations are extremely important. Dr. Lant, yes, is here. What's the question?
No, I was telling you that I didn't know that those four nations were not fully what they were.
Of course you did. That's the whole point of the question. The question is to elicit an answer. But those are the four. They'll bring another billion people onto the internet. Take a day or a week, a month. It's going to be a while. But the bottom line is it will happen. And when it happens, people like us have got to be super good at sorting the goats from the lamb from the goats. In other words, we can't have people coming in here and spending the whole day dithering around. So we make an offer that is better than anyone's offer anywhere. Because we realize that people are taking, they are feeling like they're taking a risk. But our prices are so low, $99.95 for membership in our community. And that number hasn't changed in 15 years. And you find me another company anywhere on earth that has kept its prices steady for 15 years. I'm sure I'll have something to say about that for your benefit. So Lucy, first of all, I want people to know that we've been here for a long time, longer than most. Secondly of all, that we are in the early stages of the internationalization of the internet. And also, I want people to realize that we have the highest merit rating of the Canadian Better Business Bureau because we are a Canadian company. We're based in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And there we have our corporate papers are filed. We have been for over 20 years. We have perfect relationships with those government agencies. And, of course, with the Better Business Bureau, which in Canada is very strict and stringent. You have to be a member for 10 years before they even acknowledge that you exist. And then after that, you begin working up the tree of merit. And we are now at the very top, A+ rating, gives us the highest merit rating that there is. But here's the kicker. You don't get to keep it for life. You get to keep it for as long as you maintain those high standards. So the high standards get you there, and the high standards keep you there. That's the way it should be. Do you want to say anything about the Better Business Bureau or Canadian involvement with the Canadian government?
Here in Canada, Better Business Bureau is well known. Everyone knows that if you're rated with them, A+, it's even better, that you're a great company and loyal with high integrity and are not spamming people or doing it that they will regret after. The other thing too is, from my experience with Worldprofit, is very professional. A+, the service with Worldprofit is A+. You have a question, have an answer. You anything that needs to be reviewed or done by the head office, it's done. There's no problem. It's amazing. And if you look at what you get for the investment, it's a gold mine. That's my.
Well, let's start where we should start, which is where the offer is. For many years, we've had a policy. Actually, almost since the inception of the company, we've had a policy that our offer will be better than any other offer offered by any similar organization in the world. And we've lived up to that. Anytime anybody gets a bright idea in another company and ups their offer, we up our offer. So we will never be in second place ever. And Catherine Stein, are you there? Katharina Stein. I want you to be aware, Katharina, that you are going to get the best offer from us that exists in the whole world. It cannot be topped. And should anyone ever creep close, we leapfrog ahead even more. That's the policy of the company. It's kept this company in the black since the very moment of its inception. And I was talking to someone the other day about the early days of the internet. And I was there, and George Kosh, our Chief Technology Officer at Cindy Hunter, the longest-serving female president of any internet company in the world, we were all there. And one of the great things that we did was bootstrap this company off of sales. Do you know how hard that is to do? Not borrowed money. We didn't go to the bank and say, can we have $50,000 to get started? No, we made it $50,000. If you understand that right from the get-go, people were buying our products for cash. and that that's what sustained the growth of the company. That is a very impressive thing to know. Katarina, welcome. Willkommen. How are you today? This is Katarina. You're in the live business center. You're covering our program Anything Goes, where we cover the waterfront on topics of interest. Would you like to sit back and relax and enjoy the ride? And then we'll help you come into Worldprofit. First thing we're going to have you do is read the offer. This is a 6-part offer. It's worth over $20,000. People are going to have till the top of the hour to take advantage of it. Top of the hour only, which is to say 45 minutes from now, this offer will expire. Lucy, how about reading it for the folks?
The offer. You have finished our introductory video. Great. Then you already know the awesome offer we've got for you. If you order in the next 15 minutes, get $6,500 bonus offer made in the video and $400 a month of cutting-edge success material, all with resell rights. And you get all the material we have given before. This is worth thousands of dollars. Get total success training in home business bootcamp. Also 75 monitors just like me will start closing sales for you today without ever charging you anything. Also get $800 worth of crucial business and wealth building software, all with resell rights. You also get Worldprofit Unique Click Bank promo kit, enabling you to make at least $1,000 a month without spending a penny. You also get our incredible Magic List Builder, which turns any website into a list building page instantly. And if you accept this offer in the next 2 minutes, 10 associate members who will generate commissions for you. Ready to accept? Click on the red Order Now link and select option number 1, the monthly option, or click on the link below to order. This offer is made once and once only to you. But wait, there's still more. Place your order within 5 minutes and get 50,000 additional money-making credit, including 10,000 additional guaranteed visitors to the website of your choice from Traffic Center and $20,000 credit from our popular Safelist Extreme Mega List system. You also get absolutely free our newest traffic generating marvel, the Addict SEO Promo Bootcamp, a retail value of $450. This helps you get your guaranteed #1 position on Google, Yahoo, Bing, any search engine. It also promotes your URL to over 3,000 backlinking sites with just a few clicks, and allows you to post your message on over 70 Safelist and top traffic exchanges. Finally, we will include the SEO Power Pack of 23 software programs worth over $1,000, or a gift to you if you join us now. Click on the red Order Now link and click on the option 1, the monthly option. Still more. If you get your silver package now, you get over 1,000 original articles for your blog by master writer and marketer Dr. Jeffrey Lant. See the complete collection at jeffreylantarticles.com. Active dealers just like me uses these articles to generate thousands of responses in just 15 minutes. You also get brand new software by master inventor George Kosh, which enables you to create hundreds of ebooks in just about 3 minutes per ebook. This spectacular offer is made once and once only. So act now. Click on the red Order Now button or click on the link below to order. Next 15 minutes and add this to your $12,000 bonus package. Create, customize, and produce video articles almost as fast as you can read this sentence within the next 7 minutes, and we will include the easy-to-use software you need to give away unlimited free advertising to all of your customers. Whatever you're selling, this is Tech Wizard George Kosh's latest invention, and you will use it daily to get your customers to act, to respond, to buy. A $1,995 retail value. It is yours free now. The
sound is gone. You just lost your sound.
Is it back now?
It's back now.
So do you want me to keep going with the next one about video marketing?
I do, amazingly enough.
Even more. Video marketing is the hottest things on the net. Have you been to YouTube lately? Now you can stay home and profit if you know how to do it. Internationally known marketer Dr. Jeffrey Lant, Worldprofit CEO and co-founder, shows you how to use video marketing to sell anything. Order in the next 7 minutes and get this incredible video marketing course free. This is a $10,000 value. That's what any university would charge for a 2-day workshop. But this is ongoing training. The course is unique. It doesn't exist anywhere. You get it now. Just click on the red box and order at once.
Okay, now first of all, I want to take a moment here to, as they used to do in the old times, special announcement. George Kosh just posted 2 videos, 2 announcements, which are worth money to everybody in here. I want to add this to the offer for Dan, Katharina, and all the 129 people that are in the audience. I originally finished a book. I've written a lot of books in my life. That was my 19th. And this book is uniquely done because I am allowing you to give away an unlimited number of copies of this book, which will bring people in here to the live business center where the monitors can close them for you. This is an extremely efficient system. When you read the book, your socks are going to be knocked off. George says that we can refresh the page, that it's under. I think we have to refresh the page. Let's do that, shall we? Let's all refresh this page, hit F5, and we'll be able to see what George has written.
There.
Now, did you find article on book marketing? Oh, no need. George says no need to do that. And he's already done it. Let's see. Article. George put the link up. Okay, the link is on the screen. And George will be sending out a video with instructions on how to use it. But I'll tell you how to use it. Every person in the world that isn't making money on the internet, and that is virtually every person in the world, needs some help. And this book is a kind of a Good Samaritan book. It's finding people by the road over the beach. You remember the story of the Good Samaritan, Lucy? There was a man who was along the side of the road and he was left for dead by some robbers. But the Good Samaritan came and rescued him. Well, I liken this as a metaphor. I think the people of the world have been hurt bad, mauled, and victimized and scammed by people that left them on the side of the road, all beaten up and unhappy and miserable. And then the Good Samaritan comes along and says, here's what you need to do. And pulls them up and carries on. Well, that's what we're doing here. We're saying to Bernard Qua, you failed long enough, Bernard. You don't need to fail anymore. And so on the left-hand side, as George said, articles in book marketing, go get your copy. Does everybody understand? The Sandy Henner, the president, just joined us. She has a few comments. The book will stimulate enormous numbers of people finally understanding that internet marketing doesn't need to be traumatic. It doesn't need to be a bloodbath. It doesn't need to be a long session of being mauled. So, Lucy, you've seen this book as it's come up from its earliest inception. Now, of course, it's going to be an international phenomenon. What do you say? Granted, you haven't read it yet, but when you do, you're gonna find out that what I've done is just focus the discussion where it needs to be.
I just read the what you post on the screen the other day. I didn't know the book was ready yet, 100% ready to read, so I'm very excited. I'm going to read it shortly, and very excited to read about what you have to offer there and teach us. So we
well,
can,
what I have to offer is salvation for Bernard Qua. I want to focus this book. I wrote this book for Bernard. Bernard, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions here. As you see, we're not scripted, or we are not. We go with the flow here. Bernard, how long have you been trying to make money on the net? Bernard Qua, how long? And how much have you made? Can you count on the income? Could you possibly live on it if necessary? Well, Bernard, give us an answer.
This is a live interactive.
Well, I may have to give Bernard's answer for him. Well, I know he fainted with glee. Finally, someone's there to help him. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, all people are greedy to a degree. Everybody wants more. Nobody wants to work. I mean, work. You know, Bob Denver, who played Dobie Gillis, who played Dobie Gillis' best friend, Maynard G. Krebs, and many loved Dobie Gillis. Anytime he mentioned the word work, he'd go, work! People became a laugh line, because he was a man who understood that nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to get up in the snow and ice and work. But you know what? Sometimes we have to. And so what I did when I sat down is I said, who's the guy who has the most gizmos and the most ways of helping people make money? Of course, the answer is George Koch. The guy that's been giving away all these gizmos for 20 years. To my father, too, doesn't George know about capitalism and how it works? You build a better mousetrap and then you sell it for a profit. And every once in a while you build a better one. You don't give them away. George had a different attitude. Anyway, it's all in the book. But here's the kicker. This book won't work on its own. It's only going to work if you do something about it. If you truly want to make a change, you're in the right place. And its focus is so clear, 6-year-olds could figure this out. Many 6-year-olds are smarter than adults about the internet anyway. We already know that. So this is going to be an extraordinary event. I firmly expect to give away more than 1 million copies. Well, Bernard, today is the day you change things. Because Lucy has read to you an offer. This offer is good to the top of the hour. And if you order, well, it'll be 50 customers in addition to everything else that Lucy gave you. But here's the thing, folks. Let me tell you this. If you follow the book, and by the way, I followed the steps of this book myself. There are 2 reasons I'm a multimillionaire. First, I'm an extraordinarily hard worker. And I hate to admit it. I like to be lazy like most people. I just don't have it in me. And secondly of all, George Koch. So when you link my work ethic and his brain, bah, it's magic. It's a lot of money. I'm glad to see our president is here. She has been so instrumental, and she takes care of all the little itsy-bitsy pieces, which add up to a huge miasma stuff. And anybody have an idea how many itsy-bitsy pieces of paper you have to deal with when you're dealing with a corporation? A lot. Millions. Sandy Hunter has, with all his grace, dignity, and efficiency, and honesty, and integrity, has always been there doing that. So we have a lot of things going on right now. You can probably hear it in my voice.
Very exciting, Dr. Lant.
I'm kind of exhausted. But I'm going to also, I want to stop along the way to read my Mother's Day article, because George Koch created this article in ebook marketing directory. And if you want to, if you haven't seen from when Howard Martello comes up here. I mean, this boy is flying. Literally, I gotta watch, make sure he doesn't break himself or break any bones. He's out there doing what he's supposed to be doing, and it pays off. And then of course, he's done it for so many years. So we have it all here. If there's a person in this audience who leaves without getting the book, without taking advantage of the offer, I don't know what to say to you except that you're making a huge mistake. Now, it's time to take a moment along the way to thank the people that helped us, and of course, Mother is number one in this issue. So my Mother's Day article this year is heartfelt, and it can be used by all of you to create an ebook. Hopefully you will use it. Just go to jeffreylantarticles.com, type in the word Mother's Day, and you'll have plenty of articles to use. I'm going to read this, and then George is going to get this video out. And I'm sorry I sound so hoarse, but if you're lucky I have a voice at all. Yesterday we had another tremendous day. Today we're having another one, and we're really, really busy. And I think the reason we're so busy is because people finally have had enough. Enough of the internet is magic, and you don't need any help, and you can do it all by yourself. You don't need any technicians. You need everything you can get. You need every person who will help you. Don't ignore them. Don't be rude to them. Don't think you can do it all by yourself. So let's start with Mother. My most memorable Mother's Day. A tenacious memory that tugs at my heart. And may touch yours. This is a classic article that I've written. I've written over 1,000 articles in this series. I wrote this one April 30th, 2012. My mother's dead now, but I want you to know that hardly a day goes by I don't think of her. Not in some idealized fashion either, for she was a vibrant, beautiful creature whose reality for me, even if flawed, was more compelling than any fairy tale I might make up. And as for charm, she was a byword for that. I knew that before I even knew what charm could lead to. Some say that along with her penetrating eyes, I inherited my full measure of that charm. I leave that to you to find out. This article is being written because it gives me the perfect opportunity to remember her, not just vaguely, but as she was, and remains in my mind's eye. A real woman, I much loved and often argued with Mother. Here I am able to indulge myself in the most profound memories, certain that I am writing this article for you, not just for myself. And because the woman is important, the day I am recalling here, one of a handful of truly beautiful, special days of her life. So she often told me afterwards, I savor every word as I think it, write it, consider it, review it. And if not perfect and exactly so, change it. For there is not a word here or even a comma that I can accept in any other way. For you see, this was one of the handful of truly special days of my life. And I want you to share it and know why. Thomas Gray, treasured poet. Where did my mother's love affair with England and her poets begin? I cannot say, but I can recall that wherever we lived, its premises were littered with the lyric beauty of the English language, where words mattered, where understanding them mattered, where using them to maximum effect mattered, and where a word was never an obstacle but a friend not yet known, well enough, but welcome for all that. As such, books rarely closed, always open with makeshift bookmarks, were found in every room. We read as effortlessly as we breathed, and the splendor of language surrounded us, shaped us, sustained us, and no one more than my mother, of whom poets were accounted special beings, well deserving of the veneration they received from her, and in due course from me. And so the profound love between a mother and her firstborn son was made manifest in the poems we discovered and shared. The reading of such poems to each other and the meanings we strove to find, especially for me, as she had gone before. Then these bonds mattered most of all. Thomas Gray, 26 December 1716 to July 30th, 1771, died just 54 years old. Thomas Gray was born in Cornhill, London, the son of an exchange broker in England. He was the fifth of 12 children, 11 of whom died in infancy. The smell of death permeated his young world, the constant visitor to his home, constant reality where birth and mourning seemed inextricably linked and inevitable. And so he grew up wondering whether his own expected demise was nigh, accelerated by his abusive father. This recurring thought shaped his life, his outlook, and his poems. Later in life, Gray became known as one of the graveyard poets of the late 18th century, along with Olivia Goldsmith, Oliver Goldsmith, William Cooper, and Christopher Smart. But for Gray, this was not a pose. He had been to the graveyard too often, too early for that. Death and Gray were on intimate terms from the start. His sense of humor. For all that Gray's life was turbulent and difficult, it had moments of unalloyed joy, not least because he had the valued knack of seeing the humor side of even the most oppressive subjects. It was good to see he skewered the masters of Peterhouse at Cambridge University mad with pride, and the fellows of this college as sleepy, drunken, dull, illiterate kids. It was the kind of thing I wrote to my college friends too, and I knew the joy of such characterizations. My mother knew I wrote these kinds of acid word pictures. I sent them to her, and she carefully tied them with ribbons, adding her own often equally acid responses. These two bonded as we laughed together. Too, there were the other traits which may have made her see me in Gray. He spent his time indoors, voracious reader, avoiding athletics and exercise of any kind. But when the companionship of his friends was offered, he was a crowd pleaser, the apt, devastating Mo at the ready. Gray and I might have been siblings, surely kindred spirits. She must have seen this, and if so, I agreed. Elegy written in the country churchyard. Then my mother traveled to England, and I was working on my first book, and asked me to accompany her to the setting of one of her favorite poems, the Elegy, written slowly, painstakingly, between 1742 and 1750. She had waited a lifetime for this excursion. And so she and I, on Mother's Day, went hand in hand to the ancient village of Stoke Poges, to the churchyard of the Church of England Parish Church of St. Giles. There great Gray's remains repose for the numberless ages. His monument, whether tilted, too much, too illegible, special torment for this man of perfect wording. We had come hence to see, to learn, to venerate, and in the graveyard to read the elegy together. In turn, lyrically, each word a pledge to love each other now and forever, though I didn't know its purpose then. She had her tattered, well-thumbed Gray in hand, so did I. So we commenced the reading of the first stanza, hers by right to intone. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day, the lowing herd winds slowly o'er the lea, the plowman homeward plods his very way, and leaves the world of darkness and to me. We are born on these words to the place we both want to be with a person in this sublime moment. We both wish to be with. Thus we walked and read together from the celebrated words which British General James Wolfe read to his officers September 12, 1759, the day before he was killed in battle, saying, "Gentlemen, I would rather have written that poem than take Quebec tomorrow." It was an admission made by thousands of those who have thrilled to these sonorous words and their eternal relevance to struggling mankind, far from the maddening crowd of noble strife. Now my mother has gone the way of all flesh, the way we all must trod in time. We know such an end is natural, but that does not assuage the bitter grief and finality of the matter, particularly when the dear departed is one's mother. This loss is bitter indeed at whatever age it occurs. Thomas Gray knew all this, and in his beloved elegy, popular from the moment of publication, popular still, he gave us all the words we need to cope, find hope and resignation, and the words of remembrance and above all of love. Thus, whenever I miss her and want her near me in all her humanity and her dazzling smile, I can never forget. I take down from the clutter of my library her copy of Gray's elegy, and read it aloud as we did that memorable Mother's Day so very long ago. Whenever possible, I go to any search engine and play Domenico Scarlatti Sonata in D minor, published in 1738. He was one of Gray's favorites, perfect accompaniment to his surgically precise words. Boast of heraldry, pomp of power, and all that beauty, all that wealth our day awaits alike the inevitable hour. The paths of glory lead back to the grave, but not with God's help, and with Thomas Gray's to the dark void of forgetfulness and oblivion. They have given us the joys of memory, and the words we need to summon it in our beloved ones, at will, and thus they live again in us. And isn't that the purpose of Mother's Day anyway? So everyone, take maximum advantage of the holiday. And do send out an ebook. Go to jeffreylandarticles.com and find some other ones and put them together and use George's wonderful technology to make it all work. Well, Lucy, what did you think of that?
Nice article that it's very touching, and it shows the great relationship that you had with your mom.
Yes.
Very fortunate to have that in your life.
Yes. Well, she would have enjoyed it. She would have been reading a new book, that's for sure. So we'll segue back to our topic at hand. There's a certain person, and also one of the great things that George has also done is for those who are members who are not yet in the video course, you'll want to do that. You'll want to take a look at the left-hand side of the page. Under the category Monitor Schedule, you want the subcategory Video Marketing Course, New, NEW in bright red letters. Friends, if you're going to be involved in the internet at all, do it successfully. Don't surf it. Don't look a little bit here and a little bit there. Do this as if your life depended on it, because maybe it will. Maybe you'll lose your job. People do all the time. People need extra income. People do all the time. And here it is. But not if you do a little of this over here and a little of that over there. That's not going to work. And if that's the best you can bring to the table, don't bring anything to the table at all, because it's not worth it. Lucy, we've got to make these people understand that the internet is a place where you can make money on a regular basis, and you simply must follow George Kosh's boot camp guidelines. And if they do, they're going to make money.
Absolutely. George says it in every boot camp. It's always a reminder to check what George is doing and watch more boot camp. I'm very fortunate because we're two here doing it together, but you know, it's still a reminder every day. It needs commitment and discipline too. George is giving every tactic, every strategy, every tricks that he is there, you know. So
what we're saying to folks here is the 120 people looking in the window. If you're one of those people and you're not having success, bite the bullet. Do it right, or don't do it at all. To do it in an episodic way, a little bit here, a little bit there, you're defeated. You'll never understand the power of the net. The net is pure power when you do it right. And in this book that's just coming out, Net Profits, I show you right from the get-go. I focus on the one essential thing that you need, and that is list development. If you don't have a list, you have no chance to make money. Who's going to buy things? You're just going to send them to your webpage, an endless barrage of people that are not going to do anything. If you want two words of beyond George Kosh, landing page. Those words are, we ought to have t-shirts. Did you throw some traffic at your landing page today? When people go on the lists, they stay with you. They can stay with you for life. There are people who were customers of ours 21 years ago who are customers of ours today.
They found value, Dr. Lant, to stay that long.
Exactly. Bobby Sims, are you there? Now, Judy Davis is new to Worldprofit. So, Judy, what are you getting out of this day? Because you've got a lot of things going on in your mind now. You've got all these different bits of information. And Bobby Sims, if you want to start making money on the internet today, we can help you do it, but you're going to have to communicate with us. Bobby Sims, do you hear us? And what I just said right now, those few words, cannot be done under any other form of media. I say, Bobby Sims, do you hear us? He can't open a window or close it. He chose to.
He may come back sometimes. They just...
Well, what matters is that he has a choice and he made it. Now, Lucy, we are entering into the last portion of our program for today. It's covered a lot of ground. First of all, I urge you all, don't just read my book. Think of it as what it is. It is a way for you to build your lists off of my brain and George Kosh's brain. I'm not charging you a penny in this book, and I'm not telling my father because he'll give me another one of his lectures. So you used to make $1 million a book or more. That was true. You believe the old-fashioned way. You write the book, how-to book, you sell the book, you make money, right? Listen.
Absolutely. And I'm just waiting.
George Kosh has just posted the announcement that the new book, Net Profits, is in the goodie bag for all. And Judy says she's just starting out the boot camp. Some of them know the site is ready. Judy, let me ask you a question. Do you think conquering the world is somewhat, your word is overwhelming? Do you think that's somewhat overwhelming? Do you think setting out with Alexander the Great or Julius Caesar or Napoleon Bonaparte, Genghis Khan, do you think that might have been nerve-wracking? Of course it was. And of course it's going to be nerve-wracking. When you say nerve-wracking, what the brain is telling you is that something important is going on. It's giving you a signal that you better pay attention. You better be on the qui vive. That's what it means. It's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing to understand that you have that. To understand that you, and this is crucial, you have the ability to stay at home and fly worldwide, develop a worldwide clientele who knows you, relationship-oriented buys from you. Do you feel thrilled by that? I feel empowered and thrilled by that every single day of my life. Now, George is telling me that the book is in the goodie bag. So grab it. Understand that it's not for you guys. It's for the guys that you guys are in touch with. For the people on your list. Now, some of you, and I have to say, we told you so. I was advising you some months ago, and George Kosh has been advising you for a long time, build the list every day, build the list. And someone said, oh, you're like Chicken Little. You didn't feel like building the list on that day, and then something will come up for the next day. If you do it, if you did it consistently, today's your lucky day. Today is one of the many days that list pays off and goes. What do you think about that, Lucy? Lucy Dubois, do you hear me? Lucy doesn't hear me. Nope, no sound.
We're cutting off badly, so I am sorry. I did not hear you. I hear you, but you were cutting off.
Okay, well, who do you want to shout out to today? We have time for one or two of our shout outs. Anybody in particular? You want to draw their attention to what we're doing? Oh, we have a lag here to Canada.
Very nice. That should be the shout out.
Well, I've sold a lot of books in my years through Amazon.com. So the book does have a retail value of $29.95. We're giving it away. Yes. Yes, Lucy. How may I help you? Anyway, the book has a cover price of $29.95, but we're giving you members of Worldprofit a copy for free, and free to give away as many as you like. Well,
sorry about that. So the shout out, the shout out could be done about the book.
Well, then do so. Shout out about the book. What do you mean?
Oh my gosh, the delay is so.
Yes,
so I want to shout out about the book. So everyone who's listening to us today,
well, do so.
Get this book. Get this book from Dr. Lant. Dr. Lant and George Kosh will teach you the step-by-step how to succeed. Yeah, we'll teach you how to succeed with internet, step by step. I will start, my friend, for sure.
You know, 20 years from now, we will look back upon this phase of the internet that we were so excited because the advances will be dramatic over the next 20 years. But I say this, if you write every advantage to victory over the next 20 years, you're going to be a very wealthy and well-placed individual. The thing is to stop fiddling. Will everyone take a vow, please, that you will stop fiddling with the internet and that you will just for, you do what Lindell's again. You will spend 1 month doing it right. Would everyone, of all the time you spend on the net, and all the questions you've asked from your family who thinks you're crazy because you're wasting your life away, take the pledge now. You will not fiddle, but you will focus. Do you want to take that pledge? Come on, people, I know you would do this. Don't fiddle, focus. Very slowly, it's grinding along. It reminds me of a Mississippi paddle boat. Well, in any event, we're coming to the end of our program. Lucy, what are your thoughts for today? Your thoughts are that we should develop a non-lag internet. Wouldn't that be nice? There you go, Judy.
Okay, so if you can hear me, my thought of today are I am very, very grateful. Very grateful to have been introduced to Worldprofit, to have this gold mine of resources to help me succeed, and have the privilege to be mentored by top masters in the world on internet business, and the privilege to be able to read this book and the step-by-step process to just build the internet business, which is not overnight, but with persistence, persistence pays. So we'll get there. Can be successful like you are at some point.
You know, my success isn't.
I want to thank you for that. George, Dr. Lant,
isn't a matter of mystery. It's a matter of daily effort. No mystery in that. You see me up here doing it. I wanted to do a lot of the things on the screen so that you could see what I do and how I do them. So I'm sort of teaching you by living my usual life and doing my usual things and showing you how they're done. It's part of our policy. Well, in any event, I want to bring up Patrice Porter. Lucy, if you wouldn't mind going down, we're going to bring Patrice up, who's been so helpful. She's the lady with the wires. She pulls the wires. Patrice, are you ready to come up? Lucy needs to go down.
was a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you. Please come up.
And good day, Dr. Lant, and all
You
the...
see, you can't go away for a birthday party because see what happens? All hell breaks loose. All the new books, new gizmos.
Yeah.
We don't sleep here, you know.
The video marketing course is launched in class now, and I checked that video out too. And now the launching of your new book, so I'll be on that as soon as I'm done here, and getting that out to my list and lists. And we really appreciate you bringing that forward for the members, because we know how valuable your writings are. I've learned lots from reading your articles, and having it in book form, it's wonderful. And that was a very touching article that you read today about your mother and sharing your memories there. It's wonderful memories to have of a Mother's Day with your mom, doing the things that you love, being able to share that love of words and poetry, and it's a wonderful thing, and I'm very happy you shared that with us, and I'll be using that in my ebooks.
People say, you know, we should do this thing that their mother likes, whatever it is, go to the Grand Canyon, go shopping at Macy's, whatever it is. Every mother has a thing that she wants to do. It's always put off. The real issue is not what we did, it's that we did it at all.
Yeah, that
we
you
did put it off. And I think the worst thing you can do with a human being is put it off. So it isn't that you need to fly to England and go to start Pojo's church. That's not the point. That's our particular activity.
Yeah.
The point of the matter is that you sought out your mother. You did something that was transcendently memorable and important.
Make the most memorable Mother's Day ever, and we've got it recorded now, and if anybody wants to watch the replay of this program, it'll be on the YouTube channel Pat Porter, and also you can check out my Home Business Central I've developed through Worldprofit here at www.20waystoprofit.com. And at Worldprofit here, we're taught, it's not just about Worldprofit products or anything, that we are taught here how to develop any business online. And I've used my gardening expertise and help people create abundance by gardening. And you can check that out at www.gardeningforfoodsecurity.com. And I'm looking forward to the next Anything Goes and checking out your new ebook, Dr. Lant. With that, I'll say my adieus till 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Very good to have you back.
Yeah, and I'll be up right after the Anything Goes program too. Bye for now.
Okay, I'd like to finish this program by reminding everyone of the famous words of Cole Porter: in olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked upon as something shocking. Now, God knows, anything goes. We meet here each day at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for a candid discussion of, well, most everything. This is the longest live program on the internet. We are always talking about money and how to get it and what to do with it when you've got it. And meanwhile, we're also talking about marketing, all the ways that Worldprofit can help you build your business. And of course, each day, I try to read one article from the repertoire of over 1,000 that I've written. Today's article was my most memorable Mother's Day. Mother's Day is coming up just a few days from now. Don't just give it a standard card and a bunch of flowers. Think through something that your mother really wants to do, or do what I do. Remember her and write up the validity and actuality of your life together. In any event, I want to thank Patrice Porter for her help. I want to thank Lucy Woods in British Columbia for her help. And we're very busy today. We apologize for the lag, but that's a sign that many people want to get on the site, which is not surprising. And the offer will be continued by Patrice Porter. And this is Dr. Jeffrey Lant, signing off now from Cambridge, Massachusetts. www.worldprofit, worldprofit.com, helping you succeed on the internet since, well now, just about over 21 years. Thank you so much. Have a good one.